Let me guess, you've tried all the boost your metabolism tricks. Lemon water at sunrise, cayenne pepper in your coffee, a detox tea that swears you'll melt fat in your sleep. You eat clean, you do extra cardio when you feel guilty, and you keep telling yourself you'll start fresh on Monday. Yet nothing really changes. You feel sluggish, your jeans feel tighter by evening, and it honestly feels like your metabolism must just be broken. Here's what no one tells you. The word metabolism has been misused and marketed to death. It's treated like a switch you can rev up with a spice or reset with a 3-day cleanse. Yeah, but metabolism isn't mythical. It's measurable. It's the total energy your body uses to keep you alive and moving. And it's adaptable. Once you understand what it is and how to influence it, you stop chasing gimmicks and start pulling the levers that actually move the needle. By the end of this, you'll understand the 4 parts of your total daily energy expenditure, your BMR, TEF, NEAT, and EAT, and how to use them to make your body a better fat burner without starving or beating yourself up in the gym. So let's talk about the myth. I want to spend time here because this is where most people get stuck. I'm going to walk through the thought process people have had and then paint in plain English what actually happens inside your body. Myth 1, the less I eat, the faster I'll burn fat. Thought process.
I'll slash calories hard. I'll skip breakfast. I'll have a tiny lunch. Maybe a salad for dinner. Hunger means it's working. I'll power through for 2 weeks and finally see the scale drop.
Yeah, no, what actually happens? At first the scale does drop, mostly water and glycogen. Then your body senses a sustained energy shortage and defends you the way it is designed to. Lowers thyroid output, ramps up hunger hormones, and quietly reduces NEAT, your spontaneous movement. So you sit more, fidget less, and tire out faster. Your workouts feel flat, you recover poorly, and because protein is often too low in a crash diet, you start losing muscle. Less muscle means a lower resting burn. So the eat less plan can end with burning fewer calories than when you started, while feeling more hungry and worn down. That's adaptive thermogenesis, meaning your body is trying to keep you alive, not to make you lean for summer. Myth 2, I'll start my day with lemon water and cayenne. That really revs my metabolism up.
Influencers do this. It's a quick fix. If I nail my morning ritual, my metabolism will be on fire all day, even if nothing else changes.
What actually happens? Hydration is great, and a little caffeine can bump thermogenesis a few % for a couple hours. But if you don't change the big rocks like protein intake, total calories, resistance training, and daily movement, the boost is a rounding error. You feel on it because the routine feels disciplined, but your body's energy balance hasn't meaningfully changed. No extra muscle, no higher baseline burn, no added movement. Myth number 3, cardio is the fastest way to burn fat. I'll just do more cardio. It's easy to think,
I'll run every day. More sweat equals more fat loss. Strength training makes me bulky anyway, so I'll skip it. Just be a cardio person.
Listen, cardio does burn calories during the session, but if it replaces strength training and you're eating in a deficit, the weight you lose can include muscle mass. You end up needing more cardio to maintain the same results while feeling hungrier and more tired. Over time, your body gets efficient at the cardio you repeat, which means you burn fewer calories for the same effort. Cardio is valuable, very, but muscle is your metabolic investment account. Myth number 4, protein isn't important. I'll save calories by eating light. It's easy to think,
protein is heavy. If I cut it, I can eat more volume. I'll fill up on salads, fruit, and a light something at night.
But what actually happens, protein is the most thermogenic macronutrient. Roughly 20 to 30% of protein calories are spent just digesting it. It also preserves muscle when you're in a deficit and keeps you full. Go too low on protein and you quietly lose muscle. Thermic effective food drops, or the amount of calories your body burns to digest, and hunger stays loud. You might be good all day and then overeat at night because your body is screaming for repair material. Myth number 5, I'll do fasts, because fasts reset metabolism.
I'll automatically eat less. That means more fat loss. Easy.
What actually happens? Time-restricted eating can work if protein and total nutrition are still adequate and your daily movement doesn't tank. But for a lot of people, long fasting windows turn into under-eating earlier in the day, which leads to lower energy, which leads to lower NEAT, which leads to bigger nighttime hunger, which leads to overeating late. Net effect, fewer calories burned, more calories eaten, and worse sleep. If fasting helps you be consistent, great, but it's a tool, not a magic switch. Adequate protein and movement still rule. Myth number 6. The fat burning zone will melt fat, so I'll stay there forever. The thought process here.
The treadmill says I'm in the fat burning heart rate. Perfect, I'll live here.
What actually happens, fat burning during a session doesn't equal fat loss across 24 hours. Long, easy cardio can be great for health and building an aerobic base. We love zone 2, but it doesn't replace strength training, protein, and NEAT. You can be cardio master and still stall fat loss if you eat too little protein, lose muscle, and sit all day. And myth number 7, detoxes or cleanses jumpstart metabolism. Thought process here is
I'll flush out toxins. I'll just reset my gut and my body will finally let go of fat.
Yeah, no. What actually happens is short-term water loss from fewer carbs. Scale drops fast, but there's no added muscle, no NEAT strategy, and no sustainable calorie framework. As soon as you reintroduce normal food, glycogen and water returns, appetite rebounds, and your activity is still low. Back to square one, sometimes even worse. If any of that sounded like your inner monologue, no, you're not crazy. You're normal. You've been handed shortcuts that ignore how the system actually works. So let's fix that. Metabolism is how your body turns food into energy and uses that energy to keep you alive and moving. You eat food, you break it into glucose, fatty acids, and amino acids. Those feed into your mitochondria, you know, the little power plants, and you make ATP, the energy currency every cell spends on everything. Breathing, circulating blood, repairing tissues, thinking, walking, training. All of that energy use adds up to TDEE, or total daily energy expenditure. TDEE has 4 components you can influence. First, there's BMR, or basal metabolic rate, your baseline burn to stay alive. TEF, or thermic effect of food, is the cost to digest and process food. NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, all your movement outside of your workout. And finally, EAT is exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the intentional training. And these aren't on-off switches, they're levers. The goal is to pull each lever intelligently so your 24-hour metabolism works for you without feeling like punishment. BMR, basal metabolic rate. This equals 60 to 70% of TDEE. Your BMR is the baseline cost of staying alive. The calories your body burns just to run the essentials: brain function, heartbeat, breathing, temperature regulation, and constant cell repair. It's mainly determined by fat-free mass, especially skeletal muscles. A pound of muscle burns about 6 to 10 calories a day at rest, while a pound of fat burns 1 to 2. That may not sound huge, but add 8 to 10 pounds of lean mass and you've raised your baseline by 50 to 80 calories every day before you even move. That's a lot of calories you're burning by doing nothing. Muscle also changes metabolic flexibility, the ability to shift between burning carbs and fat efficiently. People with more muscle have higher mitochondrial density and better insulin sensitivity, meaning their cells can use whatever fuel is available without storing excess. Aging itself doesn't take BMR. Losing muscle does. That's why resistance training is non-negotiable. A 2018 Journal of Applied Physiology study showed that adults who lifted 2 to 3 times per week maintained resting metabolic rate for decades, while non-lifters saw declines of 3% per decade. Sleep and hormones play a part here too. Short sleep, which is less than 6 hours, reduces thyroid-stimulating hormone and leptin and elevates cortisol, all signals that downshift metabolism. Think of cortisol like an internal brake pedal. When it stays high, your body conserves energy rather than burns it. So BMR is your foundation. Build and preserve muscle. Get real sleep, and your resting burn stays strong. TEF, or thermic effect of food, accounts for about 10% of your total daily energy expenditure. Every time you eat, your digestive system expends energy, breaking down, absorbing, and transporting nutrients. Different macronutrients cost different amounts to process. Protein, 20 to 30% of its calories are burned just digesting it. Carbs, 5 to 10%, and fat, 0 to 3%. So if you eat 100 calories of chicken, you net 70 to 80. That's why high protein diets often lead to easier fat loss and better satiety. Your body works harder to use them, keeping you full in the long run so you don't take more calories in. And research backs this up. In a 2016 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition trial, subjects on a 30% protein diet burned about 80 to 100 extra calories per day compared with those eating 15% protein, purely from thermic effect of food. Fiber helps here too. It slows digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and fuels gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, which improve metabolic signaling and insulin sensitivity. Meal frequency, mixed data. What matters most is total intake and macronutrient balance, not eating every 2 hours. Still, spreading protein across 3 to 4 meals improves absorption and keeps thermic effect of food active throughout the day. Crash diets and long fasting windows can backfire if they cause overall undereating or protein deficiency. When intake drops too low for too long, thermic effect of food decreases because there's simply less to process, and the body becomes more efficient at conserving energy. So don't starve your metabolism. Feed it strategically. NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which accounts for 15 to 30% of your total daily energy expenditure. NEAT is everything you burn outside the gym. Walking, fidgeting, cleaning, standing, even posture control. And modern life wrecks NEAT. Desk jobs, cars, and screens have erased thousands of daily calories of movement. Classic research from Dr. James Levine at the Mayo Clinic found NEAT differences of up to 2,000 calories per day between naturally lean and overweight subjects, without any difference in formal exercise. Here's what that means. Someone who paces while on the phone, takes the stairs, and may burn the energy equivalent of an extra workout every day. Low NEAT is one of the biggest hidden causes of weight loss plateaus. When you diet, your subconscious movement often drops. Fewer hand gestures, less standing, shaving hundreds of calories a day without realizing it. The fix is awareness and structure. Aim for 7,000 to 10,000 steps daily. Take 5 to 10 minute walks after meals, which also improves glucose by 30%. Stand for part of your workday. Move or stretch hourly. These micro movements compound. Over a year, consistent NEAT habits can offset tens of thousands of calories. And finally, eat, which is exercise activity thermogenesis, which accounts for 5 to 10% of your total daily energy expenditure. EAT is intentional exercise. Lifting, running, cycling classes. It's the lever most people obsess over, even though it's the smallest slice numerically. But its indirect effects on the other levers make it crucial. Strength training elevates BMR through muscle gain. Conditioning work increases mitochondrial density and capillary growth, improving oxygen delivery. High-intense interval training can elevate post-oxygen energy consumption, or EPOC, for up to 24 hours. Though the effect is modest, 6 to 15% extra burn, according to a 2017 meta-analysis in sports medicine. The real metabolic win from training is adaptation. Regular exercise improves metabolic flexibility, which again is your ability to switch between carbs and fat for fuel. A 2018 Cell Metabolism paper showed that active individuals oxidize fat at 2 to 3 times the rate of sedentary peers during the rest and moderate exercise. So train smarter, not harder. Too much high-intensity work without recovery spikes cortisol and lowers thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, slowing your overall metabolism. So anchor your week with 3 to 4 strength sessions, 1 to 2 zone 2 cardio sessions, and 1 high-intensity finisher, plus 1 interval training session a week. That balance builds capacity without burning you out. For the action plan, lift to protect your baseline. Prioritize compound lifts 3 to 4 times per week and progressively overload. Eat 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Recovery is the other half of training. Eat to fuel digestion. Base every meal around a protein source, ideally 25 to 30 grams per meal. Pair it with fiber and include quality fats for hormone health. Avoid long-term severe deficits. They suppress thyroid function and they reduce the thermic effect of food. Move all day. Park farther away. Stand up during calls. Walk while you brainstorm. Take the stairs. Track steps for awareness until movement becomes automatic. These aren't new tips. We just have gotten further and further away from them. And train with intent. Strength plus cardio equals metabolic flexibility. Aim for 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous activity weekly, but make strength your anchor. Remember, the goal isn't to trick your metabolism. It's to train it through consistent movement, nourishment, muscle, and recovery. So now that you understand the science and the 4 levers, it's time to apply it. I created a free Metabolism 101 action guide that walks you through it. Calculating your personal TDEE, assessing which lever needs the most work right now, and building a daily plan to strengthen that area. So download it using the link below, and before you go, tell me in the comments, which lever do you already dominate, and which one are you gonna focus on next? Because once you learn to pull these 4 levers, your metabolism stops feeling like something that happens to you and becomes something you command. Once you understand the thought process behind the myths and what actually happens in your body, you stop guessing. You stop starting over and you start pulling the lever that make your metabolism something you command. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe with that notification bell turned on, and send this to that friend that's always trying to boost their metabolism.